What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Bullshot Darts. In this one, I'm going to go over an article written by darthelp.com called The 9 Unwritten Rules of Darts Etiquette. I have not read this yet, so we're going to read it together. I want to throw in my 2 cents a little bit here or there. Guys, the link for this article will be in the description. Make sure you go check it out and support darthelp.com by going to his website and checking it out. But first, if you are not subscribed, please make sure you hit that subscribe button before you go. The more Bullshot Darts you watch, the more 180s you'll hit. Drop the video a thumbs up and check out bullshotdarts.com where you can pick up some Bullshot apparel. The perfect way to show your love and passion for the greatest sport in the world, the sport that we all love. So go ahead over there and pick up your new favorite dart shirt. All right, so let's get right into this article, guys. The 9 unwritten rules of darts etiquette. Are you being rude? Unfortunately, yes, there are quite a few rude dart players out there that I've ran into over the days. We'll skip the intro and just get right into it here. I don't know if I'm going to read the whole article because it looks like our first one here is each game begins and ends with a handshake. So for this one, I somewhat agree with this. Let's see what he says. Each game of darts should always begin and end with a firm, respectful handshake. Okay, so he talks about being a gentleman's game. So I don't handshake before a match that often. A lot of times before a match, it's just like a good fist bump and a, shoot well type thing. But at the end of every single game, I always go for the handshake. I don't care if I lose. I don't care if I win. I always go for that handshake. Now, because I always go for the handshake, it doesn't always mean I get a handshake. Like I said, I've met plenty of players out there that either will ignore the handshake, just walk away. I put my hands out and people have kind of smacked my hand. Unfortunately, things happen. It's not easy to always shake a hand after a sporting event, but I do agree with this. Maybe not necessarily before every single match. Like I said, I like the fist bump, but after every single match, I always go for the handshake. Let's see here. Let's keep scrolling down. Do not remove your darts until your score is marked. Okay, yeah, so here we go. Now, this is something that doesn't really bother me too much because I usually am watching what my opponent's doing or there's a chalker present. But there's definitely been times where I see darts get pulled. Even when there's a chalker, they pull it before the chalker has the number correct in their mind. If you're just doing a lot of throwing at the 20s, the math can be pretty easy, but when you got players moving around the board a lot, especially, if you're not like a professional chalker or anything, it can be hard to keep up with the math. So yeah, always leave the darts in there until they get the score right for you and get it plugged in. That's going to avoid some things. And also, if there's not a chalker present, I've played with people that walk up, take their darts out, and then score their darts. And yeah, I have to agree. Same thing. Don't do that because if someone does think that you hit something else, after you pull the darts, it doesn't matter. If you write the score down first and they see the score, they can be like, oh, wait, no, you didn't do that. You got 20, 19, and 18. That's 57, not 58. So, yeah, do not remove your darts until the score is marked. Yeah, I like it. I agree. So, yeah, it kind of talks about just keeping the final score. Keep quiet, no distractions. All right, we're going to read into this one a little bit. Keeping quiet is important. While throwing some darts can be fun and relaxing experience, it could also be brutally tense and mentally taxing. Yes. Darts is not unlike other sports that rely on the execution of precision-based moves such as golf and tennis. Dart players, especially those at the pro circuit, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I see that they're talking about that you need to be quiet. Yes, this is why you should always have your phone off while you are playing. Even a vibrating phone can make a lot of noise. But yeah, you want to make sure you're quiet because also you don't want to come off as someone that is trying to throw your opponent off. That's not respectful. That's poor darts behavior. So yeah, keep quiet. Don't make distractions. And also for you personally, mentally try to eliminate the distraction. So if there's something going on distracting you, try to drown it out and think about something else because yeah, a lot of random noises, like if there's not music playing, can be easier to, fall into these distractions and let it mess up your game. If score, okay, so this is not a darts player related, but chalker related. If scoring, face the board, stand still and out of the way. Yes. I've definitely played with some bad chalkers in the past, and it's like, yes, thank you so much for chalking. I would rather have a chalker than not a chalker. But yeah, you have to make sure you're chalking correctly. I've played with people who will like, their body will be faced more towards the players and they're like leaning on something, looking at the dartboard. That's distracting. I've had players or chalkers like nod and stuff during matches, like, oh yeah, you hit it. It's like, I can see my darts. I don't need your nod of approval letting me know that I hit my target. Now, if I ask you, yeah, of course, turn around, let me know. But as a chalker, yes, you need to stand still, keep your eyes on the board. Even sometimes if I'm chalking and I see what looks like is a game-winning shot, sometimes I won't even peek to look, because if it's not in, now I'm going to be causing a distraction for the player. So in moments like that, I'll stay still. And if I see them walk up, then I will do a little peek. Or if they're like standing there waiting for something and I can tell that they're waiting for me to do something, then I'll peek. But until then, like, I'm not moving because I don't want to be distracting the players and be the reason for someone to lose. So I'm glad that he's including chalker in here, because as players, yeah, we should be chalking matches too. I like it. I like how he covers all aspects of the game here. Watch your mouth and know your surroundings. All right, not too sure where he's going with this. Let's do a little bit of reading. Oh, swearing and foul language might be okay, even expected, on a Saturday night at the local pub, but it will be highly inappropriate under other circumstances. It's essential to know and understand your surroundings to avoid social faux pas. All right, so I see where he's going with this. So yeah, at a Friday night, Saturday night blind draw, those types of behaviors might be okay. Me personally, I'm never really being obnoxious. You know, I've definitely played with players that can get obnoxious on a blind draw, but they're, you know, professional when it's time to be professional. I guess that's just not really my personality to get loud and obnoxious, but yeah, you need to know. So if you're playing at a Friday night blind draw, flipping off the dartboard after a throw, cussing at the dartboard after a throw might be acceptable, and other people might laugh and do it with you. But if you're in a more professional environment, you need to keep those behaviors limited and, you know your surroundings. So, okay, so he says that, you know, watch your mouth and know your surroundings. So you need to be a good judgment of where you are and the expected behavior of wherever you are throwing darts. Stay out of the way if it is not your turn. Okay, I'm liking this one. You need to be behind the player, like a good 2 steps behind them. You know, the professionals, they have the, I'm having a brain fart on the name, but the area of the player, the area behind the player that you're not allowed to be in if you're not throwing. There's reasons for that. You need to be behind the player, out of the way, minding your own business. So this also goes to tournaments. You know, a lot of pretty much all tournaments here in the USA outside of like CDC events don't have that. So it can be easy to be like beside a player. So it says stay out of the way if it's not your turn. I'm not going to read the whole thing because I understand what he's saying here, but this also goes to stay out of the way of the players next to you. You know, at these tournaments, you're playing right next to each other. You can't be standing beside someone because they're going to see you in your peripherals. So yeah, stay out of the way if it's not your turn. Mind your own business. Go back, get a drink of water or whatever it is that you might be sipping on, and then get to the line when it is your turn. Don't be a sore loser. Yeah, I can't say this enough. I told you, I've put my hand out for handshakes before. I get it smacked away. I've had plenty of people be rude to me. Nobody likes a sore loser. I mean, whenever anyone treats me disrespectfully after a loss, like, I just can't help but lose respect for them. And do they care if I'm losing respect for them? Probably not if they're acting this way. But still, if you're losing that respect from a bunch of different players, you're just going to get a bad rap for your name in the darts world. And people don't like that. They might not want to throw with you in doubles events. So be gracious in defeat. Be great. You know, if you win, cool. If you lose, cool. Me, win or lose, like I said, I'm going to shake a hand. I'm going to say good darts. If anything, I'm more positive when I lose. Because if I lose, I might be upset with myself, but I'm never mad at my opponent unless they're doing some crazy stuff to try to throw me off or something. But even then, it's like I am more willing to talk more after a match if I lose because I lost. You know, they won, they're happy. So I don't mind talking like, oh, good darts, man, you know, and talk about the match. Whereas if I win, I'm more likely to just give a handshake and, you know, say good darts and stuff like that, because I don't want to make it seem like I'm rubbing it in that I won. Like, so I'm definitely more willing to talk if I lose, because, yeah, I don't want to make it feel like I'm rubbing something in if I won or whatever it might be. So always be respectful if you lose and if you win. I mean, this should also say don't be a sore winner. I've played with plenty of sore winners before too. And I like how he did a little picture of the Hulk, because you know, obviously if you lose, you know, that's when you're unhappy and you won't like Hulk when he's angry. But just don't get angry. I mean, if you're angry at yourself. Don't take it out on your opponent. Pay attention to when it is your turn. Oh my gosh, yes. I actually just watched a podcast the other day of the Bearded Dart guy where they were talking about the bull shooter in Chicago and how it was taking so long. Yes, you need to pay attention when it's your turn, but also pay attention when it's your turn to play a match. You know, we got players that are outside taking smoke breaks, socializing, and that is all fine and dandy, but pay attention. You know, we're not trying to wait 10, 15, 20 minutes for players to get to their board to play matches. This is why a lot of these tournaments can run long, because we got players that are not paying attention to when it's their turn or when it's time to play their match. So yes, pay attention, be there when it's time to play, and be there when it's time to take your turn. Yes. I think this is the last one coming up here. Respect. Respect is perhaps the single most important value to promote in sports. Yes. I have played so many players that lack respect, and like I said, I will lose respect for people for that. I'm sure they don't care, but this is just me talking. I don't care if I win or lose. I don't care if someone's mean to me or not. I'm always respectful to my opponent, because that's just who I am. You know, I am an ambassador of the sport. I want sports to grow, and players need to be respectful. The biggest time that this bothers me is when big time players are rude to smaller time players. When I first got into the game of darts, a lot of the top players wouldn't even show me the time of day or light of day, whatever the saying is, because they didn't know who I am. You know, I would never say names or put people on blast. I mean, maybe I should, because so their sponsors can see, you know, the kind of player they have representing them. But, you know, I've had players just be extremely disrespectful to me just because I might not be as good as them. And that's not okay, because when we're trying to grow the sport, we need these players coming back. I've seen players be very disrespectful to new players, and do you think they're going to come back and be a part of the community and be a part of the sport? Probably not. So always be respectful whether you win or lose. Now, I'm not saying all top guys are like this. There is plenty of top guys that I've met, I've played against, I've beaten them, I've lost to them. And at the end of the day, we're all respectful towards each other, and that's the way it should be. But unfortunately, we do have some people out there that lack that respect. And at the end of the day, you know, you do you, it's your personality, but we're trying to grow the sport of darts, and the more disrespect we have in the sport, it's going to be harder to grow the sport. So I absolutely love this countdown. I think that's it. Yeah, that's all of it. Darthelp.com, guys. Check out the link in the description if you want to go check it out yourself. Once again, I absolutely love what you're doing at Darthelp.com. Thank you for all the articles. Some videos should have popped up over here. Give them a click. I'll see you guys in the next one, and shoot well.